Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
And a good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thanks to everyone for listening live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio for those watching on YouTube. And thanks to everyone for tuning into the podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Jasmine, Sidhu, and we've got Bruce Simpson from William Huff here with us. Somewhat his second appearance on the Hangout. You had that little...
Yeah, I did 20-minuter.
Yeah.
It's good.
So this is your first full appearance on the Hangout. So thanks for coming in, Bruce. Really
thank you for
appreciate it.
having me.
How are you guys all doing? Jasmine, how are you doing today?
Oh!
You need the mic in front of you. The mic has to be in front of you,
my God.
not behind you.
I was
Wow.
wow, already, right? I apologize.
Welcome
for
back.
It's okay.
Is this your first full appearance? Like,
Just chilling over here.
right?
Jeez.
I feel much better. Thank you for asking.
Oh, so you got over the stomach bug.
A little bit.
Stomach flu. The thing that
Oh,
Greg,
yeah, well,
the same
stomach
thing
flu.
Greg Wyshynski had.
Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
symptoms. All of it was the same. It was
Definitely not a hangover from 4 days and 5 bottle service soirees.
none of that.
Knock it off. Just kidding. Well, my
We already
colleagues.
talked about it all
put it on
yesterday.
your
It's
Instagram.
all there yesterday.
I know.
Everyone
Just
could see it.
reliving through it. I'm just like, oh my God. But my colleagues were very supportive. And thanks to you guys, I went home and rested.
All right.
Montreal can eat you up.
Yeah.
It's a tough town.
Yep. It's
As evident on the Hangout yesterday
Yeah,
with
legit.
Jasmine.
yeah.
But yeah, like you were worried that you were actually sick, and you just didn't want to believe that you were having the long hangover.
That's exactly what it was. A long stomach bug.
That's what happens.
Long stomach bug.
Before we started the show, we were talking about Montreal with Bruce, and we were talking about the delis. Everyone talks about Schwartz's, but you brought up my favorite one, Reuben's.
Yeah. I think Schwartz's is overrated. Like I know everybody
Yes.
talks about going. So I stay downtown all the time I'm there. So Schwartz's is a bit out of the way.
Yep.
But Reuben's is right there. But yeah, we went to Schwartz's a few years ago, and it's like the refinery grill here is probably a better sandwich,
Yes.
to tell you the truth.
But like Reuben's, I said it's like there's a nice vibe to it. It's right on St. Catherine Street. That's like where I had like a truly a genuine delicious Montreal smoked meat sandwich where I'm like, okay, I get it now. So you could tell like when you have one somewhere else, it's a little off. But yeah, Reuben's is fantastic.
That's the place I found out for the first time that everybody in Montreal uses mayonnaise for their fries instead of ketchup.
Yeah,
Took me by surprise.
it's different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, delicious.
Mayo?
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
But I like a Chipotle mayo.
Sure.
I guess, okay, so I'm kind of contradicting myself. I apologize.
Yeah, don't be a dusty.
Well, I like mustard. Just Dijon I think I'm allergic to Dijon and wasabi.
I don't like
No,
Dijon.
I don't like hot mustard.
I'm not a fan of Dijon mustard.
Yeah. I
Can't do it. No, that one I'm not big. Is it also not into like horseradish?
Yeah, I was
can't
gonna
do
say
a lot of
it's super
horseradish.
spicy, right? Yeah.
Although I've had the horseradish with the prime rib sandwich at Century Casino, just straight up. I didn't, and that I could eat for some reason. But I generally
good
don't
there.
like horseradish. So, no, Dusty is, I think Gager made a great point by saying that like Dusty's Halloween, like, or horror films would be watching Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like, cause it's kind of
yeah.
true that, like, there's a guy you don't want to, like, Dusty gets to travel to this Canada with the CFL.
Yeah.
He's not a guy I'm going to ask, like, what food recommendations do you have from across Canada? Because he's only going to tell you about chicken tenders.
Yeah.
Who's got the best? If you want chicken tenders recommendations, he's got that down.
He's got that down?
He's got that down. There's no better source in Canada than Dusty with chicken tenders. But you don't want to trust him for anything else.
No.
Would you guys try like beef cheek tacos or something? Did you do something?
I
like
had
that?
cow tongue
Yeah.
in Bakersfield because they have is it Catalan? Is that the right?
Kettleman's.
No, well, it's in Spain. What are they? Because there's one team that likes Madrid and one
Barcelona and Real Madrid.
team, yeah, but one team's like, is it Catalan?
Well, Barcelona's in like this region. I can't remember how it's pronounced. That like almost wants to separate from Spain.
Yeah.
And it's like Cattle Leon or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like a culture within the Spanish culture. And like they have beef tongue or cow tongue. And I had it in Bakersfield because there's a community down there. And we had it. It was really good. It was different.
Really
it was super thin.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've had it
it's
too.
actually pretty
You
good.
bring that mic
I know.
up.
I was gonna after. Always calling
Welcome
me out.
back.
Well, because it's kind of important
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear me.
speak
Nobody wants to hear
into the
Bruce today.
microphone.
Yeah.
It's kind of important. That's all I'm gonna throw out there. Although, like Bruce, Box Pounder, here for the smooth jazz.
Aw, thank
so
you.
there you go.
my boy.
You've got your fans. You've
Yeah.
got your fans. Ready for the CFL season to come to a close?
I think so. Tough year. But you know what? I think the last time I was here, I think Larry was just being announced as owner, or he was announced as owner.
You brought us the chair.
That was our 1 year.
Was it the 1 year?
Yep.
So that's early September. So that was Labor Day time, I believe.
Yeah, so he was there already. Probably about mid-July, maybe the end of July, the vibe at the stadium just changed overnight. Hate to say it, I think it was a game after Chris Jones wasn't there. But the whole atmosphere on the field for all the staff, everything was just a complete turnaround. So after the last 4 years, it's been a good end of the season. I look forward to what they're bringing in next year. I even know Dustin mentioned it on Monday. I'm not the new president of the Elks, and have my own worries with my own company to look after. So, no, hopefully a good hire and get the fans back in the stadium, and
Bruce,
future's bright.
speaking of that, like you talk to people around the city, you know a lot of people and connected to like prominent ones too. But like, what's your sense of the effect of having a local owner and one single owner for this franchise? Because you talk about like on the field and how that vibe's different, but like how about for just the public and people in and around the community that you've talked to?
Well, I think there's a lot of optimism and excitement. I got to be honest with you. Dealing with them for the last 30 years, working with them, it was really odd to not feel like you're in that community ownership, that, you know what, every decision you're making is, you know, really reflecting, I don't know how to describe it, but me and all the fans of the city, where now we're dealing with an owner that, even though I've met him a couple of times, he's very nice to me, but I think it'll be a little bit different in the office, I'd imagine, for them. The only thing I know is that we changed our billing from the Elks to Double E Football Club. But yeah, I think it'll be, people are excited. I think there had to be a change. We don't have enough time to talk about the board and what's happened in the last 10 years or so to the team. But
Right.
I think Larry will hopefully, he's very passionate.
Yeah.
Him and I started going to football games, I guess, at the same time. It's 1972 is when I started the Not-Hole Gang. So we've been big fans for a long time. So
Are we all surprised? Like, it's today's the 24th.
Yeah.
A week left in the month, and they don't have a president announced. Is that a little surprising? Is that concerning at all? Or is it better just
Or
take
is
your
it
time?
indicative of something?
That there's not enough candidates?
No. Just
I think
depending.
they want to get it right.
Yeah.
I think they're going to take their time to get it right. I know everybody's anxious to have one like this week, but I think that, like, I have all the time in the world for Rick.
Yeah.
What he's brought back to the team and his calmness and organizational skills. So I think it would be nice to have somebody, I think, for Grey Cup that they could go and meet people.
Well, that's the
Good
thing.
point. Good point.
You need to start, like, because it's not like your president's just coming in and is looking over this club. They have to go hire a GM and a head coach, or like GM, and then they have to go hire a head coach. or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then the 18th of November after Grey Cup, the pickings are open. So
Yeah.
you got to have somebody in place to
Exactly.
start the next season.
And that's, so we're less than a month from Grey Cup being finished, which is actually kind of wild to think.
That's an interesting point, though, Maddie. Like having somebody in place in the president's role, meeting and pressing the flesh at Grey Cup, because that's a huge, I don't know, schmooze fest, I would say.
All right,
in
everyone's
the
there.
CFL, but like
Yeah.
to start to kind of make your imprint on the league, I guess. Is that a fair way to describe it?
Well, imprint on the league, but also I think just talking to people in network for GMs. Like you got to start figuring out who's interested. You got to start having those conversations. What better way to have initial conversations than an informal chat at the Spirit or whatever it might be if you're that president. And they need to get in place for that. And that's where it's like, I figured at some point this month, they have to have it finished because I think going into November, whoever the president is has to start creating that sort of short list of, okay, who are the people that I want for GM?
Yeah.
Like you can't be waiting a little bit long because when Chris Jones got hired, because it had to be the reverse role. They hired Chris Jones and they hired Victor Cui.
Yeah.
Right? And Chris Jones was hired around New Year's, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And then Victor Cui was first day on the job was like early February, something like that. Well, everyone else had their coaching staff figured out at the end of November, early December. Everyone had their president figured out at that point, I would have believed. You're behind the 8 ball going into that season. I don't think you could be doing that again if you're the Elks.
Right.
Like, because you fired Chris Jones and you knew you needed a new president since the start of or since mid-June or July, I should say. So that's where I just like, it'd be nice to, I know they want to do this right and get it right with the president, but at some point you have to make that decision and get it out there so that you could start working on the football ops because you can't take your time with football ops. Otherwise you're going to possibly miss out.
Yep. Han Shorkoff via the Paris Jewelers inbox says, it's hard to hire Ed Hervey while he's still working in Hamilton.
Good point.
But he wouldn't be full president. Right?
No, he'd be president of football.
He's not coming in and running the business
right.
of this. And whoever's coming in and running the business of all of this has to hire GM or a president of football ops then.
Unless they separate it completely.
Completely.
Larry comes from a construction background, so he's probably got his network of people that run his companies. Maybe that's the way they go. They take a business guy. I know that football is important to a president, but if they have a president of football operations,
right,
it might ease the.
But that's where I like the structure. How does it like? And look, they're a private company now, so they don't have to ever tell us anything, unlike a board or privately owned. But do you have president of football ops and president of business ops that both answer to Larry, or do you have president of football ops who answers to the president of the club who answers to Larry?
Yeah.
Like the Oilers had Bob Nicholson, who, Peter Shirelli, Ken Holland for the longest time answered to him, kind of in the org depth chart,
right,
as opposed to directly to Darryl. Like that's where it's like, how do you sort that all out, and which way does it go? Right. So, but yeah, if it's separated, then. But if it's separated, then I guess you could take your time on both because you're waiting for the president of football. Because if you're poaching from somewhere, you gotta wait.
And if Ed's coming in,
wouldn't that be something?
Well, he would know enough people.
Yeah.
He would have a plan.
And I like Ed. Ed and I we stay in touch. That whole organization under Ed was just great to deal with. He included everybody, whether you're in ticket sales or painting the field, you're all included in, he made sure that you felt part of the team.
That's good to know because we remember the media days of the room being closed and that's a different thing.
Yeah,
but
protecting players, that was.
Yeah, but that's more speaking to what you said, where everyone felt included, and he created that. Let's call it a shield, I guess, and protected the team within.
He tried being the anti-Tillman too, though. Like that was he was there with Tillman, didn't like Tillman or what he did, so he tried being like the anti-Tillman.
He was anti-Tillman
and took a little bit too far, maybe, but saw what Tillman went like, I'm going to learn from you by doing everything opposite of you in that sense.
That was a terrible hire. Terrible hire from day one, obviously.
The thing about Ed I will remember is 18 Grey Cup. Myself, Eric, Lucas, and Chelsea from the Hive, we were walking and we were heading to the BC Den, their party, and Ed was coming out. And Ed saw me and he started talking to me, so we were having a little conversation. Then Chelsea went up because she used to work for the Elks, and I went, Ed, I don't know if you remember me, but I used to work with the Elks with you and stuff. And he went, and she didn't, no one said her name, and he's like, oh, Chelsea, of course I remember you. And immediately, he has that's his connection with people. And she was just within the business side, but he remembered Chelsea and remembered her name and remembered all that. That's just the type of dude
important.
He was.
I think those are little things that are important, kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, if you will.
Yeah. Chelsea used to work for me, you know that. Yeah.
Yep.
Now she's with the Hive. Look at that. She's crushing. We got new merch coming out Monday.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, the pop-up store is coming Monday, I think. My final touches are coming to our pop-up site today, and then we'll test it, and then it should be good to go for Monday. What's that look for?
I'm so
Well, because-
excited. I'm probably gonna get my hat and then.
Are you?
Yeah.
Paulie still hasn't texted me.
Paulie said that he kind of remembers that conversation.
Oh, so now we're gonna-
I talked to him.
Kind of.
Thank you.
Yeah,
sure.
I didn't say nothing.
Is he Paulie?
No,
He's
I'm just telling
Paulie's
you what
brother.
my brother said.
Yeah.
Does he have that in a text? Has Paulie told me this? I don't care about. I can say these things too. Paulie actually told me, no, you don't get a hat.
What?
That's hearsay.
Same with you. Like that's my
no.
point.
I'm his brother.
Who gets in fights with him all the time?
Yeah, that's true. He brought it up on Sunday, actually. He's
Okay,
like,
please tell this story.
well,
I don't care.
Sorry,
it's not
Bruce.
Paulie.
I'm out of respect for Jasmine. I'm going to tell the story very quickly.
Thank you.
We went to visit my parents, and then we went for a beverage after. And he's like, "Hey, I was getting these texts about Jasmine's hat. You guys were clearly talking about it." And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "Yeah, I think I remember." And I think Matthew said
remember. I think-
that he
I
owes
think.
her a hat.
I think.
That's what he said.
Why would Polly lie?
Here's the thing. This could all. I want Paulie to tell me this. I've been saying this for a while. I need it from Paulie. I don't need it from you. Paulie telling
Didn't
you,
say
Jasmine.
anything.
I don't need it. Paulie telling
brought it
Tommy.
up.
I want Paulie to tell me this. You have to get
Unsolicited.
me
Fine, he will.
Paulie to tell me this.
He will.
Paulie has my number. He can text me this.
He's
Maybe just
terrible
wanted-
at texting.
From the source, just telling his brother.
That could be being made up. Just like all the nasties.
Why would Tommy make this? How would I make that
Because
up?
you're trying to help
Pauly.
Jasmine. Because like apparently all the nasties that were there heard this conversation. Because it was only three of us, but in the end, every single person was part of this. Bruce was there. He heard the conversation. Apparently, you know, like
These hats are hard to come by.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, you
That's
just
why
don't give them
Monday's
away, do you?
Good point.
well, and I'm sold out. Although I'm getting you one. So
Can't wait.
With the store, we've got 4 colored flat brims, a regular one. We got dark blue with light blue lettering. We got green and gold, and we got orange and blue and orange.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We've got the regular and the blue and orange and a curved hat as well. Plus, we have a trucker hat
Yes.
with like a patch on it. So we got quite a bit of hat options
Curved
coming.
hat. Hint, hint.
So
You get a hat. She get a hat.
She gets
well,
a hat.
if she gets a hat, apparently I didn't say which hat.
Oh my God, could you?
May have to buy it, but we get a hat.
He's the one I like the least flattering.
Well, yeah, I don't have to. I get to pick which hat then.
So
if that's the case.
hoodies, we get all that stuff. Hoodies, crew necks, all that stuff's gonna be like ready to go.
Well, it's a pre-sale, it's pop-up store, so it'll all be pre-sale. But we got baseball tees, we got hoodies, we got shirts,
Here's baseball tees.
Nice.
a couple ladies things.
Oh what?
That was something that
yeah.
you were talking about. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
We got a full zip little jacket, like with a hoodie, like a hoodie zip jacket. We got a quarter-inch or a
Quarter
quarter
zip.
zip jacket, a couple of kids things, 6 o'clock lager mug, Birdie Boost shot glass, socks. I think that's it.
Holy, what do you mean that's it? That's awesome.
So there's a lot in this.
That's a
there's,
lot.
There's options of them,
Wicked.
different colors, and so that's all.
And that's all because Bruce had Chelsea at William Huff
Yeah, there you
and
go.
taught her the
Exactly.
ropes.
Taught her
and then
the
she went
ropes,
to the
yeah.
Elks. Yeah, and now she's at the Hive. It's all tied together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Reminder, we do have the keyword for the EST Flyaway to LA presented by the 780. That's coming up just after 10 o'clock as we want to send you LA where you get to go to that new Intuit Dome. I don't know if anyone saw any highlights.
I was watching that
Did you?
game.
You did? You watched it?
Yeah, but don't ask me about the game because I didn't care.
That's
No, who
okay,
cares about the
but did you
game?
see
Did you
at
see
least
the dome and the
opener?
wall?
Bruce,
It
did you
looked
see
awesome.
I
it?
did
Yeah.
not.
No.
And Steve Ballmer going berserk was hilarious.
Yeah.
He is an awkward dude.
It's an awkward
He's an
dude.
Well, he's
awkward-
part of that.
the Microsoft dancing.
The whole
team.
dance
Yeah,
with him
like-
and Bill Gates and all those weird, like
Yeah.
how weirdly they were
It's
dancing.
good
Yeah.
energy though. Did you see that?
Yes.
Like, so that zone he was dancing in? The
wall.
The wall. Can you explain that to me? I only saw a little bit of it.
Go ahead.
It's a section. I can't remember how many rows straight up it goes.
It's very steep.
It's very
Okay.
steep.
Steep, yeah.
It's strictly for fans of the Clippers. You have a special code to get into it. Visitors cannot buy these seats. There's protection that I don't think you could resell this type stuff. Like if you buy these tickets, they're yours type thing. And they're trying, basically, like Eric had the hot take. It's a soccer supporter group, basically.
Okay.
So it's just a group of Clipper fans to come together to bring as much noise and energy as possible.
No doubt.
And Steve Ballmer's the first one to kind of bring this to North America in a sense.
Amazing.
In terms of the big four, obviously MLS has these type of things as well. But that's what this is designed for, is to give the Clippers some sort of home court advantage.
It was a cool idea, and it was cool that he was there with the fans and getting involved. I love that when they care about it.
Yeah.
This.
It is nice to see someone care about the Clippers, but yeah,
I'm worried about the brawny era of the Lakers.
of course you are.
We're
Shocking.
talking about
the Clippers, and
Yeah, we're
trying
talking
to give
about
them their
the number
love,
one
yeah.
team of the LA is the Lakers. Don't forget.
But yes,
Did you catch the overtime by any chance at the end?
no, I started watching Netflix.
Okay. Well, I obviously went to sleep because,
Tell us about it.
I was a little tired.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotta get through that stomach flu.
I know, but I woke up to being, it looked like a great overtime. It's so nasty
Who won?
chime in. Suns.
Yeah,
They spoiled the Clippers' first debut there.
but
Good, screw the Clippers.
Okay, speaking of that, and then the other thing that's kind of unique to an arena as opposed to a stadium is the ring scoreboard. And
Yeah.
it looked awesome.
awesome.
It looked pretty neat. And then like the whole exterior too, the way it's designed, I'm assuming it's a lot of LED because the way it lights up is pretty crazy. Kind of reminds me of Barclays Center in Brooklyn, where they like built a shell, and even I guess SoFi Stadium, where it's like a shell, and then there's like a huge like covered walkway into the arena, and the arena only takes up like half of the shell. So it was kind of neat to look at. It looks awesome. And
Yeah,
then
it's
somebody,
awesome.
I looked up on Twitter some of like what people were saying about Intuit Dome, and they're saying that it's like controlled by an app, basically. Like you have to have an app.
Yes, I got the tickets for the thing. To get the tickets, I had to download the Intuit Dome app, and I had to get the ticket on here. I had to go through a lot of things. It's cashless, but like it's all done through here. So when you go to a concession, you're using your app and you're doing a bunch of things. So it's all on
that.
Yeah, so like whoever wins this has to download our EST Flyaway, this Intuit Dome app from the Clippers, so I could send them the tickets through that. But that's how they get to the stadium, and I think that's also how they're going to be able to control the wall and who gets the tickets and who doesn't. Is it because it's all through an app, and they could pinpoint where you are in the stadium, so there's different things that can happen, and it's kind of cool in one way, but it's also kind of creepy in another. That they
Right.
full
Now,
info on you. I just look it up, Intuit Dome here. Well, they have T-shirt launchers that can hit every seat in the arena. And they also have, for the opposing team locker room, they have their own gym recovery area, X-ray and MRI rooms.
that's huge.
The refs get a cozy space as well, which comes with a conference room and a family area or something. I don't like giving opponents comfort. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, if you're paying that much money, let them. Who cares?
I
a
want the
competitive
advantage.
advantage.
I don't want the opponents to be comfy. I want them to feel miserable. Like the X-ray
hate on the
MRI
arena?
is pretty cool. Pardon?
And hate on the arena?
Yeah, I don't care. They're the away team. You want to be in the good part of the arena? Come sign up for the Clippers.
I see your point.
Join our side.
One of our nasties went. Tyler Wise, I believe, was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did the whole experience. So good for him too. That's a good story to
That's
tell
pretty sweet.
tell your kids and stuff like that in the future.
Yes, 100% agree. And I'm curious too to know how his experience working the app was, because I remember when they were building Rogers Place, there was talk about, and it didn't come to fruition because there had to be some value engineering, as it's called, cutting stuff. But there was talk
Like
of,
the press box had to be put back.
yeah, no
press box initially was supposed to be hanging.
no terrazzo flooring. I remember that one vividly, and a few other things. Anyway, regardless, still a fantastic facility. They were talking about, I don't know if it was an app, but they would have real-time bathroom line updates. They would have real-time concession. I think in the suite level you can have things just brought to your seat. Is that correct? I haven't sat in a
In the
Yeah, well, Loge
club
would.
area.
club area. They'll bring it to you, right?
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But there was like you could order from your phone and then go pick up. They were talking about doing that stuff at any checkout point in the stadium, whether you're upper, lower, club, whatever. So a lot of those didn't come to fruition, or maybe the technology hadn't been sharpened up to be ready. So to hear and see that it's all controlled through an app, which is a double-edged sword. I understand that, But there was talk of that 10 years ago when they were preparing Rogers Place.
Riverhawks have an app. They're partnered. There's a local company, Order, I think it is.
Yeah, Order, I think, yeah.
ORDR or something like that. Where you can order stuff to your seat through them. You can go
that's
on
a
and
simple
do that.
thing. That's a good thing. It's a creature feature.
I didn't watch the 60 Minutes piece, but they did a piece with Bulmer of the new rink, and it's like he focused on even bathrooms, making sure that there's no line for bathrooms or something. So I don't know how they fully planned that out. But no, like there's even apparently like little monitors in each seat, so that when they do the loudest crowd, they could actually pinpoint who's the loudest.
That's crazy.
But even like, sorry.
No, like that's like, because before, like, I don't want to spoil things, but when they go, who's the loudest? They actually don't know, and they're just randomly pointing to someone. And so when they say make some noise, really you're just making noise, but they can't figure out who the loudest fan. Intuit Dome actually could figure out who's the loudest fan.
That's kind of neat, to be honest.
He said he wanted like deeper sinks because he doesn't like wet bathroom floors, like stuff like that. I love that, you know.
And when you have that money,
Details.
how much money they
Yeah, how much did that place cost?
$2 billion.
$2 billion. And I think all privately funded.
Wow.
Like this wasn't Steve Ballmer going to the city of New York or like Inglewood or anything looking for help.
Or the province of Alberta for $300 million.
He's worth 124.8 billion US as of 2024. So taking $2 billion of that to put to this is no problem. Well, it's also just with the Clippers. He changed franchise values with a snap of the finger because Don Sterling needed to lose the team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Timberwolves or Bucks, I can't remember which one. I think it was the Timberwolves had sold a couple months prior for like $700, $800 million. And when the Clippers went for sale, Ballmer's like, here's $2 billion. And the Clippers were not the Lakers. They're not the Celtics. They're not the Knicks. They're not the Golden State Warriors. So
They're
it's
not
like,
the junior Lakers like Snoop Dogg said.
absolutely. But if the Clippers are worth $2 billion, what are those teams now all of a sudden worth?
Yeah.
It shot those up.
Yeah.
And then NFL franchises shot up, and hockey franchise, everyone just shot up because if the Clippers are worth $2 billion, well, what's everyone else worth?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good point.
Text coming in, Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999.
That money.
They watched the 60 Minutes, and that place looks unbelievable. The technology off the charts. And then apparently one toilet for every 15 fans, privately funded. He paid to upgrade the traffic controls around the arena as well.
What?
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
He had to buy the Forum, I believe.
That was an
Because-
MSG property.
But there was something, because of opening this up, it would destroy the Forum because everything's going to go to, because it's all in the same area.
Yeah.
And there's something about, I think he had to purchase the Forum because they didn't want the competitiveness and all that stuff.
Okay.
And, so I think there's something involved with him having to do something with the Forum. Now, that whole area is like fascinating now because you have the Forum, which is legendary.
And it's like a music venue now, I think.
Olivia Rodrigo played there recently.
Yeah, they renovated it.
Yeah. You've got now Intuit Dome and SoFi Stadium. And Intuit Dome and SoFi Stadium are going to be two of the greatest facilities for how long now?
Absolutely. Wow. That's it. I'm going. Sold me.
And now the new places being built have a target to meet too, right? Like this new baseball stadium in Vegas looks going to be not a Sky Dome or Rogers Center type of thing.
Right.
It's just going to be pretty impressive, I'd assume.
They're wedging it into like a relatively small parcel of land too, comparatively to some of the stuff around the league.
Yeah, but I'd assume that most fans will, I guess they'll have their local fans, but a lot of tourists. So it's on the strip, so you're able to walk to it from your hotel, which will be good.
Yeah.
But so the parking will be, they won't have much parking, I wouldn't think.
No. Although the parking garages around there are pretty good. The way, like people going to hockey games, because how many people, they're probably going to have 35 to 40,000 in that stadium. I think baseball has kind of started reducing its capacities. I know like Progressive Field is now 34,000. It originally was like 48. They've taken out a bunch of seats, premium options and all of that. So if you've got, 65, 70,000 going to Allegiant Stadium, I know that's on the other side behind Mandalay Bay. People are still parking to go there. And there is parking and tailgating. But then you go to the other side where Tropicana used to be, where the ballpark will be. But it's maybe half of that. Like I think you would be able to withstand it, don't you think?
Yeah,
In terms of
yeah.
actual traffic.
33,000
That's what they're
is the
expecting for this
capacity.
one?
Yeah.
So that's not even that big, like, if you think about it.
It's an indoor. Is it indoor?
Must be.
It has to be. 'cause
I
in
saw
July
like a
you can't
dome
be playing at
concept.
45
It's
degrees.
a fixed roof ballpark. One of the renderings made it look like the Opera House in Sydney. So we'll see how much it all changes and things like that. But they need to match it. Like Allegiant Stadium is just a step down from SoFi. I think when people talk about great facilities, you got the Sphere there. T-Mobile
T-Mobile's
is
all
a
right.
top, but it's part of like it's to me. It's like Rogers Place, and like Rogers is a top arena.
T-Mobile is okay.
They were,
Rogers better.
yeah, and I
But
have some info on T-Mobile.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot, like there wasn't that standard now set like the Intuit Dome prior to
Yeah.
set this standard. They matched what everyone else was doing kind of at the time. So I just don't see how they don't, with this ballpark, they don't match the fact that they got to one-up it.
They do, if they ever get that team officially there. But T-Mobile Arena, real quick, a lot of the elements that were in Rogers Place, T-Mobile used, I think, the same company. So there's similarities, but like the details, like Rogers Place, the seats up top have a cushioned back, right? T-Mobile is just like plastic. So there was some value engineering there too. But yeah, and I was gonna ask you, Bruce, like with everything going digital, like as an advertising professional, like what new challenges does this technology bring to a company like William Huff?
So I remember, and it was Len Rhodes one day. I remember it, first time I met Len was in the Eskimo boardroom. And they were talking about sideline LED in the league. Mm-hmm. And we did the A-frames. I was happy with A-frames. But he said, no, we're going to go LED. I said, oh, okay. He goes, why aren't you doing it? And that just struck a chord. So, yeah, I hooked up with a couple of different companies. So we supply the LED now.
Right.
We have a girl that programs the ads for us. And but it does, there's always a need for both. LED is great. Even in Rogers Place, like there's the rings, the score clock that maybe before would have been backlit signs, that type of thing. But yeah, so we've adapted a bit, got into the LED. We sell a little bit of it. We do a lot of the ads for it. I operate the Elks sideline, so that's why I have to be at the games in case something goes down there.
Patrolling, yeah.
Patrolling. But yeah, it's changed it a bit. But our industry, like I've been at it 33 years now, and it changes constantly.
Right.
We bought a new printer in April, and it's already had a replacement for it. There's a better, faster one.
Is it massive?
126 inch, so just 10 feet. Just
Yeah.
over 10 feet.
Jeez.
Cool.
I saw, I don't know, across the street from our building on the parking garage, there was like, they had the blocks blocked off, cordoned off, and they were like literally printing a sign on the wall. It was unbelievable.
Oh, on the old Bay building and stuff.
Yeah.
There was, they're putting little murals up.
Yeah, and they printed them, and I was watching this thing, and it would just go up and down, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
is
they have
that?
that for trucks too, like the semis.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll print semis.
that was insane, and it was, I don't know, 2.5 feet by like 12 feet kind of thing, and it was like a little hockey mural.
There's different ones for, they have the Royal Alberta Museum and a few, because it goes around, because the old Bay was just nothing.
Right,
That was
yeah,
just boarded up
big
and stuff.
blind
So,
building,
because
yeah.
I can't remember they're supposed to be tearing it down, I think, and building condos or something, or office space or something like that. I missed the Bay there. It was
The
nice.
bay there was actually.
I was
really
right across.
good.
It was right out the, like you leave your front door, the bay's right there, and it was just. I loved going walking the bay. But what do we have? Capital Care Foundation in the Nasty Chat. Bruce and team have incredible skills. The stuff they do is awesome. So creative.
Thank you.
Nice.
Good
So
people
like
there.
now, what for people who needs to come to William? What do you guys do for those that don't know William Huff?
Yeah, I guess any printing needs. We do as you see, the lot of murals.
Yeah.
All kinds of different signs, backlit pylon signs. To right now, we have an order for Champion Pet Foods for just their show cards in all their stores. But yeah, we get somehow, for some reason, I know why the reason we got really hooked into sports. And a lot of people think that we're sports only, but we're trying to change that. Sports is very important to us. It was fantastic in 2020. That's when we said, we got to get out of sports because we got to
diversify.
adapt to other things,
Yeah.
events and that. But once it started up again, you just get dragged back into it because it's so big. It's a lot of fun to be involved. But so we do trade show displays, pop-up banners, the roll-it-ups, the capital care, the wrapping of doors for their lodges. So just there's a variety. Like it's probably right now 150 jobs in the shop that are just all different,
Yeah.
all unique things. And then some of our bigger projects, of course, all the professional teams here, the Oilers, Elks, Riverhawks, Stingers, all the university teams we do work with. So
You got some Calgary teams too.
we do. It's funny because I do have a different wardrobe in Edmonton and Calgary. So my wife has my closet separated for my Calgary trip and when I can stay home. So
Smart.
yeah, the odd time I've had to go into the Edmonton shop on the way to Calgary, so they're not impressed with my Flames hoodies and polos and that type
Business
of thing.
is business, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Gotta look the part.
I popped into the shop. Thank you for fixing our banners. We might have messed one up already.
What?
Yeah,
How do you guys already mess one up?
wasn't me.
Who? So it's either Dusty or Eric,
I'm just saying it wasn't
or
me.
it's that's only those two would have had. it.
Anyway, Bruce, you fixed the two of them up last week pretty quickly, and all I wanted to say the whole time was, "I'm so sorry." we
did. You have to apologize.
We beat the crap out of those things.
Yeah, you sure
They
did.
get a lot of mileage, though. That's for sure.
That's good.
Look at you. You're steaming.
It's been like 2
We
weeks.
tried to fix it.
It's been like 2 weeks.
It's been a week. I went there last week.
It's even
It's been a
worse.
week.
I know.
It's been a week.
I know.
I go away for 3 days and somehow you guys ruin a banner.
Yep. I think it's
Jeez.
fixable. We tried yesterday. We're like, Bruce is coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
Yeah,
when I
sorry
leave.
about that.
Yep.
So, yeah. Bruce is awesome.
Oh yeah, we got a
And
guest
crew.
come in. Let's make him do some work.
No,
There
and
you
the
go.
crew there too at William Huff. That was my first time in there, and our sign's ready. You were showing me the sign. It looks good.
We have yours. We've had it ready for a while, but we're working with the rest of the guys in this building.
Yep.
Oh, that sign.
Yeah.
The outdoor sign. I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out what sign and all of that.
We're taking everything down and going to start over, but we're kind of been working with the other places and your landlord. So it's been a process, but we're getting there.
People will be able to identify where we are soon.
Well, I've had people
only
drive
taken a
by
year.
and be like, "I knew you guys were here. Tell me." I'm like, hey, yeah, this is us.
Hey, you have your fans lined up outside now
Yeah.
when you leave.
Oh, I think I know who I could blame on this.
Who?
Lieutenant Eric says, I've used one banner once since the repairs and it worked swimmingly. So I'm looking at Dusty then. Northside Sandwich. So it was Dusty then.
Yes.
Dusty was gone. So this was yesterday.
Maybe.
Come on, Dusty.
I
Get
didn't
it
mean
together.
to throw. I didn't mean
Get
to,
it together.
I'm not throwing anybody under the
Well,
bus.
I would have found out. You could throw
We
either
think it's
Dusty
an
under the
easy
bus
fix.
or there's 3 of you. There's only 3 of you that had touched that banner. So
Anyway.
there's only 3 of you I could blame for this.
We use them to their max capabilities, and they're fantastic. And we might need a hand in just getting that one up to.
I'm
snuff
sorry,
again.
Bruce.
That's okay. I fixed your pop-up too, and I forgot to bring it. Lindy will be very annoyed because she was making sure I took everything. I didn't take it. But,
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all nice and
We're
We'll
close.
get that.
We're close by.
You guys are very close. But yeah, if you need pop-ups, tenths, all those type of things for your business or just for yourself. You just want a nice sign out of your house or something.
Wrap a curling broom or a hockey stick. We've done a few of those lately.
Oh, really? The brooms and stuff?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Didn't help my curling at all, but
Big curler?
it looks good. Yeah. Tuesday night, St. Albert Men's League.
Nice.
Yeah, the old, I play with Dwayne Mandrusiak.
Yeah.
And a couple spirit guys, Keith Keating and group. So, yeah. a good
Keith
team.
Keating. Good people.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
Keith's a
I
good
golfed
guy.
with those guys at Lewis last summer.
So I'm always invited to that on a Monday.
It's
but
great.
Yeah, golf and me, when my wife and family don't do it, it's tough, right? Because you spend so much time at work. And, oh, by the way, I'm going to be out golfing tonight. So
Sorry, honey.
It's not always the ideal situation, but
Well,
Fair
yeah,
point.
golf is that, depending 9 or 18 holes, a nice little 3 to 5, 6 hour commitment.
Yeah.
I played in the Flames tournament beginning of September. They have 6 per hole,
Oof.
2 teams. So you're playing head to head.
Yeah.
It was almost 7 hours.
I was going to say that's a
play.
long day.
And then they make you go back to the Saddle Dome and have dinner.
So it's a full
Oh,
day.
you have to
commitment.
leave there.
That's
it's
a
a
full
full 7 a.m. till 9 at night, and it's exhausting.
That's a long one.
So you're an Oilers fan or Flames fan?
Oilers for sure. Unless this is picked up in Calgary.
We're right in the world. So if you're listening in Calgary, he said Flames.
Calgary's great too. No, you know what?
Dub it.
Way to go, Jasmine.
Yes, that whole
Sorry, I just wanted to double
Simpsons.
check.
The Broncos are.
Exactly.
I do love the game of hockey, but
Yes.
both organizations, all the sports organizations, just have great people working in it. You guys know that.
Yeah.
There's some great people. In that.
The Oilers. I'm not trying to discredit Jamie Cartmel or Andrew Peart or anything like that. Peter Hanlon, who does communications for the Flames, is to me one of the best in the league. For my entire time being a producer, he's always been excellent to getting guests and stuff. I've always liked Peter Hanlon in Calgary. They're amazing down there, and Cartmel and Peart, Peart's just starting his first full season.
Yeah.
Carmel's only been there for COVID, I think.
3-4 years. They've won a couple
Boxing
of awards.
Day of 2021 or
Yeah, I
he
think so,
started?
because he was with.
He was with me.
Yeah, he was.
He phoned me Christmas Eve
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
"Hey Bruce, I got a job from the Oilers. Is it okay if I take it?" I said, "Yeah, sure."
But he's done a great job
Yeah,
with there too.
He's always been good.
Yeah.
But it's been a short time there for that one. He was always great with the BC Lions. But yeah, no, Peter Hanlon, the Flames, I have to give full credit there because he's outstanding. Jerry Hiraxi, Spirit of Edmonton, he says, make sure shout out Bruce, Lindy, and the entire team at Huff for working with the Spirit of Edmonton for years and years and providing us with all our pageantry. Truly appreciated. Great guy, great staff.
Great people.
That's
at
correct.
Spirit. Yeah. Done a great job for, going to Grey Cup. They're the number one event to go to.
Hell yeah, it is. That is
Big
such a-
celebration this year in Vancouver.
I was going to say that the new president has to survive the chugging of the first cup of juice, sluice juice. So I didn't know. So because Grey Cup for us is really a work trip,
Yeah.
but I'm always invited to these events. You don't partake in them because we're busy. Like being a field painter, my day starts at midnight till 8 a.m. usually because we're avoiding rehearsals, practices. So we're kind of there during the day a little bit and then mostly in the evening. But last year in Hamilton, we didn't have to do as much. So I finally went to Spirit of Edmonton breakfast, and I don't go I've been a couple times, but
Yep.
Jerry made me take the first drink, and I really didn't know what to expect. But man, halfway through that orange juice starts coming through your nose, and I'm not a drinker, so like even right off the bat, I'm like, oh. But I didn't want to let the crowd down.
Sociable.
Yeah, sociable. So, but yeah, a great group of people there.
It's all fun. Yeah, big 50 years celebrating. So they're going to have a good one in Vancouver, and hopefully they'll be there in Winnipeg. And I think the Elks jumped on board to be the presenting sponsor of the breakfast, I believe, or is it just Spirit?
I think the whole
Edmonton?
Spirit.
Is it the whole Spirit that the Elks are presenting? So
That's huge.
yeah, because initially we kind of started a little bit of a GoFundMe for them, but then also now this is the sponsorship with the Elks. Hopefully it was a nice thing, and hopefully that's there to keep them going into next year, because they got it. You can't have Grey Cup without Spirit,
No, exactly.
and they need to get to 26 because, well, it's going to be here. Come on, they're not. The CFL's not picking Calgary over
How
Edmonton.
could it pick
I don't like that. There's no way you're taking Calgary over Edmonton when it comes to the two bids.
And when I was down there, I was talking to him about that because why would they bid on 26 when their arena is going to be ready 27,
Yeah.
28?
Right.
You'd want to show that off, but yeah,
Like Commonwealth versus McMahon.
Big Bad's getting new turf next year, but that's
are they?
what all that's going for. Yeah, yeah, they're getting green turf like Commonwealth, so we're working on trying to organize how to paint it every game for soccer because they have the women's soccer starting there next year.
Right.
Oh, right.
And then football, and Calgary always doesn't have the nicest weather to deal with, but we're actually testing this robot on next Tuesday down there. So there's actually a robot that'll paint the lines for us.
That's cool.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask
That'd be
you.
nice.
The
Cool.
University of Calgary has it, so we kind of seen it already, but they're going to do a demo at McMahon. For
Cool.
us.
That's cool.
I was going to ask you about like lines and logos that are painted in football, because in the NFL we see like the full end zones painted. We don't really see that here in the CFL. I know it's like double the size basically, but like how much of a arduous task is painting an end zone, even if it's just a logo?
Yeah, it's time consuming. It's cost. I think the CFL may be a bit cost prohibitive for it. Like at Grey Cup, we do get to paint the end zones. I used to love painting the logos, but after in 2021, when they switched to virtual on the sponsor logos, kind of reduced down. But I still get to paint center field in Calgary and Edmonton. And this year we didn't do an end zone logo because they wanted the retro lines.
Which actually do look really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Nice
I like
touch
the
for the year.
lines.
Yeah.
For the year.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
want them to
like-
go back to Double E or Elks in the end zone next year.
Yeah.
They just have those
Old school
diagonal lines or
diagonal
whatever.
lines, yeah. Like 40s, 50s football.
Nice.
Kind of, because it's their 75th anniversary.
Does it take like 8 hours kind of thing or more than that?
Oh, yeah. It's no. I could do a field probably back in the day when we had 9 sponsors in center field to do. Probably about 4 hours. I could do the
Oh, geez.
entire field. The first day is the hardest, getting the templates. But as I was explaining earlier to you guys about CFL, is because I've had 27 years painting football fields, and there's a story of how I got into that. But I don't do templates like normal people would do templates. We cut a lot of corners because we're able to fill in. We can visualize what it needs to look like. So the Elks logo, remember the giant Elks logo that
Yep.
when they announced the team?
Yep. It was like
Right
down
across the field?
north, south. Yeah.
Yeah. We painted that. There was 4 of us. And they were scared of helicopters flying over.
Right.
Every 5 yards, they covered it. So until the day it was taken off, we didn't know what it looked like. So I remember standing there and we were like waiting for the tarp to come off because, we would paint 5 yards. But at the beginning, we marked a spot, and where I needed to end, marked a spot.
Okay.
So we were basically freehanding a lot of it. And we came within an inch or 2 of hitting that spot. So we said, it's got to look okay.
It looked
We think
good.
it's going to look good. So
So
Yeah.
when you wash it, do you take a bunch of shampoo and just like wash the grass?
the city has,
Good question.
yeah,
Actually,
curious
yeah.
to know.
Yeah.
they're called extractors. So there's actually a machine that we mix water and paint remover in it. And so it sucks up the paint and the turf and the rubber and the sand. And it goes into a different compartment and recycles the rubber. So the paint goes one place so they can reuse a lot of the rubber. But it's a process. I know that
It's neat.
yeah.
Like I've always been fascinated by that. But then you see like the NFL, like the Seahawks, when they did their throwback uniforms, they had the throwback logos, the whole end zone's painted. They have the old Seahawks helmet at center field. And I was like, that's cool. But
That's very cool. But
Yeah.
you want to compare the Seahawks budget to the no offense, but
touche.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. But yeah, the Elks have been really good to us over the years and kept me in the painting business. I still kind of enjoy it. It's hard work.
Yeah.
A little bit harder on the back after I'm done now, but I still enjoy it.
So you said there's a story, but how'd you get into it then?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1997. Were you guys born yet? Or
Oh, stop.
I was 6.
6? Okay, so
11.
how we started with the football is actually my wife worked with a guy, and his girlfriend at the time had one of my business cards, and she was working on the Grey Cup committee. And the CFL came to town and said, we need a printer here. And so luckily she had my card, and then he called me. Well, I'd been on the field at Commonwealth maybe once or twice, but never in depth there, right? I was a fan, sat in the seats. So anyways, I go and meet with the CFL. I didn't know who this guy was. I walk into the Westin. We're going to meet for breakfast. His name was Jeff Farty. And I'm watching all these people come down the elevator. I have no idea. Luckily, he had a CFL shirt on. So introduced. Anyways, we go to the stadium. He starts describing what he wants. So he wants banners hanging from the speaker. He wants this place just coated. And we're like, we're a small shop. We used to be at the airport. We're like, we couldn't handle all of it. This was before digital. So we had to hand do all these signs, right? So, yeah, I actually phoned my brother and another guy. I said, you got to come down here because you're going to think I'm nuts when I come back with this report. So anyways, we did it all, but they wanted to paint the Chrysler logo in the end zone. And so the city at the time painted with, you know, the CO2 canisters you get for pop machines?
Yeah.
That's what they used as their air. And almost like a sprayer you'd use for fertilizer. That's how they painted. Well, we didn't know how to do a template. So we took this papery material and cut little stencils out of it. Well, things blowing around. Like it's just paper on the field. And Tony and Dave, we were there. We worked hours on that, but it turned out okay. And yeah, that was my very first stencil. We've gotten much better at that now. But after Grey Cup, it looked like a NASCAR race. Like there was
97?
I'm trying to remember that 97 Grey
There
Cup. That
was-
was
we had-
Saskatchewan,
It's on
we
YouTube
had
right now.
A-frames.
Toronto.
Plus we had signs behind those, and we had all the logos on the field. But yeah, it was a lot. So afterwards, it was the next day on the Monday, we were kind of cleaning it all up, and he drove down, and he thanked us for everything. And I said, well, what do you want me to do with all this stuff? Right? Because like, what are you going to do with 50 Tim Hortons signs and
Yeah.
all these other ones? So I just made a joke to him. I said, hey, well, you know what you should do is I'll keep this for you and you just use them again in Winnipeg. We'll come and set them up for you. And he just kind of chuckled and things. And then I was sitting, it was afternoon, late January, phone rang, and it was Jeff. He said, get on a flight to Winnipeg. And that's where it started. And we've been doing it ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. So your wife's business card, trying out
CFL
stencils made of
switch
paper. I've got all this stuff. What do I do with it? Why don't I just come and do it next year?
Yep.
Boom, done.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, it changed my life for sure. Like, I haven't sat in a seat for a football game since October of '97, I guess.
Jeez.
So there's the big Chrysler I got.
Oh my God. That,
the intro of them coming out.
Yeah. So
It like takes up like the whole thing. You could Google, YouTube, the whole 97 Grey Cup. The whole game's on YouTube.
is that the whole end zone?
Well, it takes up the whole from one end to the other. It's not the whole 20 yards, I don't think.
No, it's not. It went from side to side though.
Let's see what else I could find on
And
this.
the earmuffs were there. That was Louise Campbell and Diane Greeno thing. The day before the game, we had to cover up because they borrowed the helmet. I think it was from Montreal or
So there's a couple lads,
yeah.
and there's the Chrysler from the other end.
Jeez.
So I got that ad there, that
Yeah.
ad, the whole Chrysler.
It does look like a NASCAR race.
Oh,
I
well,
got to get to a full field of this.
Probably BC '99 is unbelievable. You got to ask JMO.
Okay.
When you talk
You
to
would
Jake
know.
Jameson about '99, because
99?
all the media guys were on their way to the dinner,
Yep.
and we had I think there was 26 logos on the field total, and that was the old AstroTurf, so it
Oh
wasn't
my God.
easy to paint, and they needed touching in, and it was Saturday night before Grey Cup, so Jeff called every media guy to come down, so they had to get out of their suits and come and help me paint all night. They still talk about it today.
So the media guys had help you paint?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll text Damo about it right now.
He'll have some fun stories of that.
Oh my God.
But yeah, the stuff fans don't see behind the scenes is pretty cool. Like that's one thing I'm appreciative of what I get to see behind the scenes.
This was 99?
Yeah, 99.
I
Vancouver.
should shoot him a text. See if we'll get back to me by the end of the show.
Yep, yeah. And
Are you a good painter?
Actually, I don't know. I can write really well. I have nice
Okay,
writing.
perfect. That's a good start.
So if you need
I'd
any
do
help,
it.
just let me know.
Wait, like
I'd help out.
you actually like with the paintbrush?
No,
you could
well-
write, or just you're talking about regular
Like
printing?
penmanship.
That's different than
I
painting.
haven't painted in a while, other than wine night. Do you do those? And do you show off how good you are when you do them?
I am. So my dad was an artist, and it definitely skips a generation. Like I can. My daughter's a good painter, but I can. She's a good artist, but for me, I have terrible handwriting. I have no
my handwriting's
ability, but
awful.
I can field paint. I can paint a logo. In the 98 Grey Cup, it was funny. What's the steak place right by the old stadium? Not Tom and Jerry's, but an old, it's a 70s kind of steak place.
Where, like by Rexall?
No, the old stadium in Winnipeg, the old one, something in.
No idea.
I only went to Highs when I was in Winnipeg.
Oh, we can't afford highs. Anyways, this is a fancy steak place. It's probably the biggest draw in town on a Saturday night of Grey Cup week. So Jeff wanted to go for dinner. He wanted to take me and my wife Darlene to dinner because of all the work we did, not knowing there was something else up his sleeve. So we go for dinner, and the place is packed. There's a lineup. So there's no way we're getting in. This is like 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. So Jeff walks around the entire restaurant, buys people wine to make a table of 2 join another table of 2. And he moved the entire restaurant around and got us a table for 4.
Jeez, smart.
So smart.
That's a veteran
smart.
move.
Yeah. And then halfway through the dinner, he goes, I just sold another logo for the field. This is Saturday night. So Canada. The government of Canada, can you paint Canada on the field? So if you look at the 98 Grey Cup and see the black Canada, no stencil, all freehand from a card.
I'm looking for the 99 in Vancouver, just like a picture of the field.
Yeah, when you're in our shop, we have one on the fridge. It's a reminder. It's unbelievable.
Ray and Jerry's?
Ray and Jerry's, that's it.
That's what people are texting in right now.
Yeah, Ray and Jerry's.
Ray and Jerry's, okay.
Yeah. So again, sorry to take all your time, but the football stories are fantastic.
Please.
CFL have been some great people come through there.
Yeah, just having worked with JMO for so long.
Okay.
I don't think the stories are the same in the CFL almost as they once were. Maybe like with the teams at the very least. I don't know for you if things have changed a bit.
Well,
a little more professional in certain ways.
Yeah, I think so. But you know what? Maybe. Became a bit of a business over the family events that it used to be. And I think that reflects even on the field.
The presentation of a CFL game, top into versus TV, both, it's so much better than it I think it's ever been.
Yeah, there you go.
This is unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're on the sidelines everywhere.
Everywhere, literally painted logos everywhere, and in the end zone again, one side to the other, like in Edmonton the year prior.
And Tim Hortons just doesn't change their logo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Without a machine.
No, that one I had.
There's 2 Molson Canadian logos within 1, 2, 3, 3 Molson Canadian logos around 2 other logos right there.
Yeah.
Molson Canadian wants to know.
26 was the total on that field.
How long does it take to dry, by the way?
How BC plays a bit. Probably an hour or 2 for
That's
BC
fast.
place. But
Yeah.
outside, we don't play in the warmest climates in November. So sorry. So some of the Grey Cups we've had, 2015 in Winnipeg, was a nightmare.
it was a cold
painting
one.
through the night. It was so cold. And because our paint's water-based, our tips freeze constantly. So you're spraying, and then you got to stop, soak it in water, spray again. But the 2013 Grey Cup in Regina was maybe the worst experience I've had. It was minus 40 consistent the whole week. It was freezing.
Oh my God.
And the night before we were painting, TSN, funny story. The TSN always has to have their group shot at Grey Cup. I just finished painting the gray on the CFL logo Saturday afternoon. I told them it's wet. Please don't go on it. The first thing Matt Dunnigan does is kneel on the logo and to get the picture. And then they get up and they got gray paint and they're starting to yell at me. I'm like, I just told you guys. I don't know. And I'm not the most politest when I'm tired.
Yeah.
So it wasn't excuse me, I just told you. I may have had some other words for him. But anyways, it was so cold that the tips, I couldn't even get paint to stay in the line. So we put our sprayer in the back of a gator with a blanket and a heater blowing on to keep the paint from freezing.
Wow.
I would have a bucket of hot water from like the coffee machine hot water.
Yeah.
That I'd soak the tip, my handle in, and then spray, and then go back and forth. Not realizing how cold it was. I'm using a metal handle, and when I came out, it froze to my hand, so I couldn't turn it off. So we were spraying, and I'm trying to get the paint back in, and I didn't realize why my hand was all blistered and red after, because it was frozen, and I kept putting in this cold water. So yeah, most of my injuries in life are football related, and it's not from playing. So yeah, some good times we've had.
Where did the name William Huff come from?
Bill Huff started the company in 1952, a little art studio.
Not 1972.
Not 72. Yeah, I even wore the shirt 1952 just to show everybody.
Give Dusty a good look at that one.
Yeah. So yeah, Dusty doesn't always listen in a conversation. You get that? Good guy, but may not always listen to. Anyways, yeah. So Bill Huff started a little art studio. A couple of years into it, a little screen printer wanted to retire, so they were neighbors. Bill Huff bought them out. That's how he got into the signage business. My dad joined him in the mid-50s when he came over from England. And and he bought him out in 78. So William Huff used to do etching plates, like newspaper plates, or to run the newspapers, and a lot of ads. So my dad used to draw ads. Like he was the artist that would draw an ad. We'd make the zinc plate, and goes to print. So that's when I started. We were still etching zinc plates, but and then he bought William Huff out in 72, or 78, sorry, just for the Commonwealth Games. And then the day we got our first Macintosh computer in 1991 was the day my dad walked out. Said, I'm done.
You didn't want to do
digital? He walked out on a Thursday, said he's not coming on Friday because we kind of taken his job over, right? And he called us on the weekend and said, I'm done, you buy me out. So that was basically it. And then 2013, my brother and sister retired. So kind of been on my own for 10, 11 years now. So
With a small army.
Small army. I have some great people at the office. I imagine they're watching now because they should be working, but they may be listening. But yeah, great people in both cities. Lucky.
This is the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Tommy, Matt, Bruce, Jasmine with you here on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, YouTube, as well as wherever you get your podcasts. We will get to the EST keyword for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 in a little bit, as I need to wait till Trev is good to go. He's recording a little show right now, so once he's done with that, we will get to the keyword. The official drink of the EST Hangout. A reminder, it is the Finnish long drink legend in 1952, a drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment. Real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada. Somebody was in the nasty chat earlier in the show saying that there's like a 8.5% version of it.
What?
It's like a black can of it or something. So not only is there a peach version sitting out there somewhere, there's a higher alcohol one out there. So if you really want to have a weekend or a night, look for the black Finnish long drink. Absolutely delicious. Again, we're still out of stock. I should just go get some. I'm waiting for Dusty to bring some in.
He usually does.
I know.
Does a run.
But now I don't think that might be happening. So
I haven't dabbled in that. We've got that fridge overflowing with delicious treats in there, and I haven't dabbled lately. Maybe next week. Belzy has.
Belzy just took a 4 liter of
Two hoots
yesterday. I just saw him leaving, and he had the box of 4 liter. See you guys. And as he's walking out, he was telling Jay that he hadn't been drinking in a while. I'm like, well,
that's about to change.
You're walking out with the 4 liter, dude.
That thing is deadly. The 2 hoots in the 4 liter Tetra Pak.
Actually, I think we still have some of that in the fridge. So I haven't pulled that out in a while.
That stuff's good too. Oh boy,
it goes down easy. But the official drink is the Finnish long drink.
That's right.
That's
see you guys.
Delicious drink. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh man.
What are your CFL predictions? Who do you think's gonna go to the Grey Cup? Sorry, Maddie.
That's okay. I won't be an Alberta team, but I kind of think like Saskatchewan's on a bit of a roll.
Yeah.
If Winnipeg can't beat Montreal, I think Saskatchewan could be there.
Ooh.
Like if Winnipeg doesn't get the West Final, I think Saskatchewan having the West Final could win it.
They're kind of peaking. Them and Toronto kind of
Yeah.
building up momentum at the right time. That's scary.
I look at the West and I go, you can make probably a strong case for all three teams.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I think, like with VA and what they did yesterday or this past weekend with VA, like that team might be getting hot at the right time.
That team's been so Jekyll and
Yeah.
Hyde, but you're right.
But
Can't
now VA
predict them.
comes out and like they do what they do.
Yeah.
And it's not like Montreal wasn't trying in that game. Winnipeg's just, you can't count them out. You're right.
No, you're right.
Saskatchewan's peaking right now, or especially if they're hosting that West Final, it's looking good. But then you look at the East, I don't know what to make of Montreal.
I don't either.
The second half of the season, they haven't been that team that we thought they were. Toronto's starting to play well.
Yeah.
I think we could take Ottawa out of the mix.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Jasmine?
Same as Bruce.
Good call.
Actually, I'm more so when it comes to CFL, I'm more so of the experienced person. And I had
You
mentioned
want the
to
vibes.
the vibes. Like I'm more so if the Elks are winning, like yeah, I would be more involved, but they're not. But I do love BC Place, and I don't know when's the last time you've been there, but it is an absolute gong show to get inside. And I was just
BC Place?
Yeah, it's like the traffic is insane. So whoever's going better be there very early. People take like limos now and party buses.
Yeah.
I know people that are already going don't care about the CFL, but they're going for the vibe. So
That's
it's gonna
huge.
be, it's gonna be very, very busy there. And, and I'm contemplating on going too. We'll see. For the vibe.
For the vibe.
Grey Cup's a fun time. Like
It's
just
a-
overall, like
yeah.
the whole week,
Yeah.
just the parties. It's Canada's largest kitchen party. That was how it was described to me before I really experienced it at 18 as an adult. And as I went, I was like, you're right. Like this is just a massive kitchen party. Canada
Yeah.
gets together and it's a big party. And this is one of the reasons I'll always fight for the CFL to stay alive is because of Grey Cup week. Because if we lose Grey Cup week, what other week is there in Canada for us to do this?
No, you're right.
There isn't. Like the closest is maybe the Junos.
Yeah. that's true.
We don't travel for the Junos. Well, I will say this: when the Junos were in Edmonton a couple of years ago,
Yeah, they were
the
good.
events that were happening and the little
Yeah.
concerts that were happening all over.
Yeah.
I felt a little. Oh, this is a nice little party. But
You're
it's not
right.
something you're traveling towards.
Correct.
I'm not going to go find where the Junos is this year and be like, hey, I should go party at the Junos.
That's fair.
But now I'm also not fully in that music world.
That's like the rodeo or something too, or country music. Like you may not be into it, but it's some big festival going on. It's good for the city, the economy, and
Also
the
valid.
Vibe. Yeah, vibe.
But okay, what I would counter to that's different with football is like, okay, musicians, artists, it's kind of a close knit community.
Sure.
Cowboys, rodeo, like they all self contained, although pretty welcoming. Briar, I think, would be the closest thing to CFL Grey
Yeah.
Cup week I've ever experienced, where it's just like whoever you are, you love curling, you don't, you're just sort of into it, whatever.
Go to the
Come on
patch.
down to the patch, watch the curling, don't want, whatever. CFL Grey Cup, kind of the same thing, but people do travel in from everywhere, literally everywhere. And it seems to me, at least the 2 Grey Cups I've been to and the 3 Grey Cup weeks I've experienced, it's got the best, most welcoming vibe. And it just takes over a part of the city and everybody's all in, has a good time.
Yeah, unless it's Toronto in 2017, but other than that, or 2016, it was. But no, you're right. My favorite day of Grey Cup week is the Monday after the game.
Why?
Because in the hotel, we can get into the restaurants. We can actually
right.
take the elevator down. But as a worker,
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
get to enjoy it as much. But
Good point.
the people that I meet, like, again, working the nights, great stories in Toronto because the hotel there. So when we were working the night before the game, I would have these fans partying in their hotel rooms. And they'd have the windows open and they'd be cheering me on. Way to go, pink guy. And on and on. And then about 4 a.m., they just
guy.
kind of faded and faded to darkness in that room. And then the morning guys at 5 a.m. get up. Hey, good morning. It looks good. So I wasn't alone all night. People yelling at me all night. It was pretty funny. But yeah, it's a great party.
Yep.
And it's fun that, like, I can't remember who it was. It was someone with the Avs. I remember one day Speck and I had an Oilers game. We're in the intermission just talking about the CFL. And this guy, he had a rush to go do a hit, but he's like, you guys talking about CFL? I was at Grey Cup, whatever year in Vancouver. unbelievable time. I wish I could go back. I'd love to be there. And
Yeah.
Let's go.
the Americans that come up and experience Grey Cup week always rave about it. And I'll always get like Ray Rotto, who's a longtime writer from the San Francisco area. He
Yes.
came up for the 15, I believe it was, and wrote just a full piece on how amazing Grey Cup parties are and how much for better it is
Yeah.
than a Super Bowl week or
It's
something.
affordable.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Good
James
point.
Duthie, who gets to do both, always said that the Super Bowl is exclusive, Grey Cup's inclusive.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
a
just
good
very
way to put
open. Like you could just, and you never know who you're going to be drinking next to.
it. There's a ton of people that come to Grey Cup week that don't go to the game.
Yeah. They fly home
They
on the
fly
journey.
home on Sunday morning and watch the game at home.
That
That's the
doesn't
only
surprise
thing
me.
I would love to change on Grey Cup. Is the game being a Saturday.
Yes.
Same.
I do like the playoffs game Saturday now, but I know it's Grey Cup Sunday, but it is a tough
Yeah.
when the game's here. Like my friend, it was tough to get up the next morning and go to work. So
and you
I'm
need
a
an extra
Saturday guy.
vacation day too to like travel
Yes.
back
Yeah.
time too, right?
That's a good point.
JMO and I remember after the 18 one on the Monday morning, we were just like, we should have taken today off. Like this was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then in 19, we took the Monday off. We both were like, screw it. We're not like, we went to Calgary,
Exhausting, yeah.
working. We're like, we're not working that next day. So we just booked it off.
Man, you guys were on fire. I met up with you guys. JMO was having a good time. You were having a good time.
JMO ended up
Dusty
going and
Eric.
meeting Kahari Jones in Calgary for, like, he ran into Kahari Jones for a donaire. Like, he walked into a donaire place late at night and there was Kahari Jones. It's when the NFL makes that change with the Super Bowl, that's when I think you could see the Grey Cup
Yeah,
possibly
maybe.
change.
Yeah.
I think the NFL would have to do it first. Because I know there's a lot of people in the States that bring it up every year. Like, why is this game played on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Let's do it on a Saturday so that when we get hammered the next day, it's easier.
Yeah.
But
Especially in the East, right? Because
Yeah.
games start at 4:00 our time or even later.
Yep.
And it's like
4:30 kickoff
yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
6:30 in New York where their big audiences are, and like even the Monday
Saturday.
Night Football starts at 8:00 or 8:15
I know.
there. It
World
doesn't
Series first
change.
pitch is 8:08 Eastern.
That's
So you got a minimum three. Well, I guess with this, I'm going to say still 3 hours for a World Series game.
why I do not like traveling out east because of the time change. I
Yeah.
love when our hockey games start at 5:30 or 7, but when I'm out east and Saturday night,
Yep.
the Oilers are on at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do it.
Do you
It's
get
hard.
jet lag? Admit it, you do.
You're just trying to validate your jet lag.
Not really. I
not
don't
really.
take long flights like
Right.
Edmonton to. I stay a lot in Canada, but not too bad.
It's like a 4-hour flight.
It's only
True.
2 time zones.
It's still
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
time
exactly.
zones. Yeah,
So
there you
you
go.
know,
only
you get a
two
little bit
time
jet lag.
Whale and the Wolf, when they were out doing their tour, they were out east in Halifax and stuff. And there was like those late games, and it's like
Yeah.
starting at
Yeah.
11 and
Yeah.
stuff. Ryan
Yeah, it's
would
crazy.
go watch. It's like, this is how do you watch this? How do you? And there are some that stay up and do it. Like, Michael from Oilers Live that does on the Heavy Hockey Network. That's on our station, friend of EST. He's out in Halifax. And he's up watching those
late
Oilers games.
games, man.
But now those games are in LA and they start at 8:30 our time.
Yeah,
Like it's ridiculous.
I was in Kansas City during our 2 years ago for our playoffs. And obviously I'm gonna watch. Starts at 10:15. And I was like during training, so I had like exams and tests and stuff. And I was like, screw this Oilers first.
Wow, committed. Jasmine made a great point though, talking about like the Grey Cup in Vancouver. Her friends, not really CFL hardcore fans or anything like that, but going to the game and the vibe. I think that has a lot to do with Amar Doman and what he's done with the Lions, creating that buzz, and then it's good that younger CFL audience are starting to come back to the game a little bit.
Absolutely. In fact, I hate to say it, but I kind of like to watch the Lions. They're a sexy team. BC Place is nice. They had 50 Cent perform, which
Yeah.
I flew out there for because I wanted to see that. It's just
That's
Were
why
you
you
one of
went
those
out
people
they
there.
have
staying
nice
for the game?
jerseys. Pardon?
Were you one of the people that stayed for the game, or were you one of the people that left?
They had bottle
I-
service at the game. She stayed.
yeah.
You know what? The Oilers were playing that day, so I left just after I watched a little bit of the kickoff, and then I left to watch the Oilers game.
So you're one of those people that just watched 50 Cent and left.
Well, I needed to watch the Oilers game. It was against the Canucks. It was during that series. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
won that game.
that's a BC thing, eh?
Yeah.
The concerts are important.
Vibe.
This gets the vibe,
Vibe.
for sure. But
And
you're
I-
right. A lot
They
of
tried it
people-
here in Edmonton.
Actually,
Yeah, we did it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flow Rider was here.
I will say maybe just like a side note to that. When I went, people were wearing like clubbing clothes and like they were dressed to the nines that day, and I was quite surprised because I didn't think in Canada we really do that, but that was something that was interesting too. To them, it was an outing, a party,
That's good.
girls' night. Yeah.
Like it's a really good sign.
Big Uke, was that the Grey Cup Dusty drank 1,000 twisted teas? LOL.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been 19.
Yes.
I think. I don't remember 18, not too much. 19, he was big into the twisted teas. And then Spirit of Edmonton had a thing where you could take your picture and tag them, and you'd come up on the screen.
Yeah.
And we all kept trying to take pictures of ourselves to see how many pictures we could get up there, and we were so excited about getting our pictures up there. We spent so long doing all of that, so that was a lot of fun. There's one more I wanted to get to. Where did it go?
Which one?
Bob Gramlich. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You still playing hockey, Bruce? And if yes,
yeah.
any of the old gang still playing?
Yeah, there's a few. I stopped. You know what? I love playing rec hockey, but these 10:45 Tuesday nighters just started to take the toll on me.
Those are
And
tough.
then those are the ones everybody would skip, and you're trying to find spares for. So, yeah, I kind of gave it up a few years ago. I still play out in the local rink with the kids, but yeah, I don't play it. Yeah, Bob played with me. Man, that's got to be 20 odd years ago.
So you're into the curling rink. What position you play?
I'm second,
You're seconds.
although Keating thinks that I shouldn't play some nights. But yeah, we had a tough game on Tuesday.
So
Tough game. But no, it's
so you sweep hard.
people don't understand. There is a bit of work to it. Definitely
curling?
technique to it. And
Oh, there's
lot
a
of strategy.
lot of work that
A
goes
lot of
into
work. Like it's
the
just
sweeping and all of that.
because they order beer to the ice and they deliver. Other than that, there is some work to it.
It's the winter version of golf, basically, in a
Yeah.
sense. Like there's a lot of similarities to the two, and there's no coincidence that I think golf clubs and curling clubs are often connected here in this city. It's like in golf, the beer cart comes to you. And you could argue that there's not a lot of work to that, but there's technique, there's all that stuff.
Yeah, sure. Strategies. Like I know with our skip, Keith has to plan that his lead and second are going to miss all four of their shots. So what is he going to have on his? So yeah, there's good strategy.
JMO says, yeah, it's painting the night before the game. We were actually duct taping more Molson signage everywhere.
Yeah, good times. Good
So
times.
he remembers that time.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd have been a fun call. Get that as a
Yeah.
media guy. Hey, we need help painting.
That'd be like I'm 5 beers deep. I don't know if I could paint straight or paint at all. To
Yeah,
begin
so the
with.
Grey Cup dinner, we had pizza in the Union lunchroom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, free food for media people. That's usually a
That's
good,
okay,
good
too,
way
yeah.
to get them.
Yeah,
in,
people.
That
yeah,
is
the
where,
free
you
food.
know what, if you're hungry,
Yep.
like being the staff, you find out where the media are eating because you're set. So I'll
Very
ask the
good
media
point.
guys where they're eating. And
Very
I've
good
noticed the Oilers. I went to my first media game this year, and not a lot. There's no candy or anything.
No, they had
It's
it in
all
the
gone.
preseason. They took it away.
They had it in preseason, but not the regular season
Yeah,
yet.
they had chips. Budget.
They just have the popcorn, and they had the
Pizza.
teas and all that, and then the pizza comes. I don't know if anything comes after 2. I don't
Nope,
think so.
Nothing. Budget.
But I was hoping for a little bit of candy, and there's no candy.
Budget. Took it away.
Those are our problems, but
It's a Jamie
I wasn't.
Carmel. We gotta talk to Jamie about that.
Maddie, you doing a pregame show tomorrow at Century? Yes. So actually, it's a busy day because there's Oilers and there's Elks tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow at 6 o'clock will be the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Hernan Salas and YTT. They will go from 6 to 7 on our audio stream and on YouTube. From 6:30 till 7:30, Jay and I will be live at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. We'll be live on YouTube from 6:30 till 7:30. At 7 o'clock, once the Oil Stream pregame show is done, we will take over the audio stream for the second half of that. GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show will take place after the Oiler game. That game's at 7, so it should be about 9:30-ish. Go till about 10:30, 10:45-ish, 11-ish maybe. Elks Green and Gold postgame show. That's going to be about, because it's a 7:30 game,
Yes.
10:30-ish. We'll be live on YouTube. Once the GCL Diesel Oil Stream postgame show ends, we'll take over the audio stream as well. So on all of our platforms, you'll get the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and postgame shows. On YouTube, you'll get the full Green and Gold kickoff and postgame shows. Audio stream will be on once the oil stream is done. Elk season's over.
Yeah.
So we don't, priority will go to the Oilers in this case. If this mattered for the West Division, maybe things would have been
Right.
different. But we have full coverage of Oilers and Elks tomorrow right here at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Dusty on the call. I'm on the sidelines with you tomorrow, Bruce.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Dress warm.
I know.
Yeah, well, 8 degrees, or no, 7 degrees for the high. I'm trying to, as of 10 a.m. will be 0. I wonder what the game time forecast will be. I'll have to look at Clausen's site.
Unpleasant.
Yeah. Yeah, there won't be a lot of fans, I don't think, to
Yeah.
warm us up, but we'll see. Hope so.
Hope so.
Hope a few come.
Yep.
21-hour forecast. Is that going to be enough? Yes, it will. Kickoff 7:30. Ooh. 8 o'clock's 0.2 degrees. Stays about there all game. You're looking at about 0
Yeah.
for kickoff to the end of the game.
I'm bundling up.
And is there a wind?
It's on your mind. You'll be fine.
The wind's,
thanks.
wind for us is the most important thing to
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, wind as of 8 o'clock, 8 kilometers, but gusting to 20.
Well,
Never mind. You're
that's
screwed.
fine.
By the end of the game, it's gusting to 25.
Oh, that's fine.
So nothing too crazy,
Only
but
one
it'll be.
sandbag now in each A-frame, not 3 or
Perfect.
4.
Yeah. Thermal gear, gloves.
Toque.
I'm not wrecking the Swedish hair cream. I have like these earmuffs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put the toque on and not put anything in the hair? And
But
then
he
you stay
wants to
warm.
show his hair.
I want to have a good show. I want to look nice. For the people that might be watching tomorrow's game.
Or you could just sit warm.
Oh, yeah.
I get it, Tommy. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bring my EST toque.
Portions of this hour of the Hangout, by the way, brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of EST. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehighproductmarketing.com. Stay tuned. Pop-up store coming on Monday. I got to figure out what's Trev's doing. He hasn't texted me back.
About what?
Well, I need him to be ready. He does the Hockey Edmonton show, but I need him to call. Otherwise, I have to get up and call our winner.
Do you want me
So,
to? Do you want me to go say something?
no, I just need to know if he's still finishing up or if he's just not looking at my text. I'll text Eric. We're good.
Yeah, I
All
could've
right,
got up.
then.
You worried about the Oilers?
I would be if I didn't go through last year, but the start last year was unbelievable. But yeah, I don't know. So to be honest with you, I went to their home opener. I went to a couple preseason, then I went to their home opener. When I was walking there, I was exhausted. I was I still kind of hung over, tired from. It took a lot out of me. I know I didn't play the games in June.
Yep.
But that whole event, being the fan, just took so much out of me. Like, our whole day was just thinking about the game.
Yeah.
And it was a weird feeling. And so I was exhausted going in. So I don't know how the players feel. Like, it's got to still mentally affect them that they're all of a sudden playing the Winnipeg Jets on a Wednesday night. And I know
Yeah.
it's the first game of the year, but I think they'll start hitting, like, once they start hitting and getting into some momentum, 16 in a row is not undoable again.
Yeah. Well, that was crazy. But you talk about going to the game and having that sense. I could pick up on that because I finished up the pregame show from the satellite studios at my place, and I walk across the plaza, and I had a little bit of extra time because they do the walk up for the players and the intros, first game ceremonies and stuff like that. They had the banner unveiling. So I had enough time to get there, and just seeing everyone and hearing what they were saying a little bit, there was no buzz. It was like, oh, we're here again. So everything you just described, Bruce, going to that game, I sensed it in my quick walk over. And I think Jasmine was talking about that too a little bit, that it has carried over because it is still fresh. It was, what were we, just over 3 months removed from that last game?
Yeah.
When preseason and training camp started getting going, and then eventually regular season. So I totally picked up on that.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair. That's a very, very
Just
fair
a roller
statement.
coaster. It's just the fatigue is still
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of lingering,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to get to April when they're in the playoffs. It's happening. I'm not worried in one bit, in one way, shape, or form. So
Good guys, good group of people at the Oilers, like from staff wise. And being a partner, I'm very fortunate that I do get to meet the players, play in a golf tournament with them. Great guys. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
they seem like they make more money than I'll see in my lifetime. But, just really approachable guys.
Yeah. There. That is a good room and has been for quite a while. But you're right. That's a good way to sum it up.
I got Trev's still busy, but Zach's in. So we could do the keyword for the EST Flyaway to Los Angeles. Finally, presented by the 780 homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to Edmonton. They work to promote They work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 to help promote, get their brands off the ground. You can check them out online, 780.com. That's the word 7, number 80.com, or any of their 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, or the Outlet Mall by the airport. December 26th through the 30th. Warriors, Clippers at the Intuit Dome. Rams, Cards, SoFi Stadium. Edmonton taking on either LA or Anaheim. Flight, hotel, car, all provided by EST and presented by the 780. You got to get your phone out to text 780-218-9999. That is the keyword. Jasmine, what's the keyword for today?
The keyword today is shorts. Shorts, like eat my shorts. SHORTS.
I was going to go pack your shorts when you're off to
Or
LA.
wear your shorts in December. Yeah.
When you're leaving the cold weather of Edmonton, going to the beautiful weather of LA, maybe
That's way
pack
better,
some
yeah.
shorts. But I'll take a Simpsons reference any day too. Eat my shorts. Shorts 780-218-9999. Zach to come will give someone a call the next few minutes, so you got a couple minutes to get that in, and you'll go into a draw to be the qualifier for the Hangout today. Remember to keep your phone on because you got to answer. If you don't, Zach's going to call the next person. We're qualifying until November 28th. The 29th on the morning show, we'll do the grand prize draw. Shorts to 780-218-9999.
Wild how the text just scroll in and you're just like, oh my God.
So awesome.
Yeah. Very nice. Very, very nice.
You got to go see that new Intuit Dome.
Thank you, Corey B. Tommy short shorts. Yes, that's the first thing I thought of too.
Yeah, short shorts. Yeah,
Oh
that's a
my
good one.
goodness. They're normal length shorts. Thank you very much.
Thought that would, be seasonal, those jokes, but I guess it's still haunting you.
No, I walk around and I'm around town and people are like, Tommy, your nice shorts. I was like, oh my God. They're normal. Thank you. They are nice shorts. I have shorter ones if you want me to wear them. Don't tempt me. Too cold now, though.
Yeah, you took a lot of heat over that.
I did.
Scalding hot takes. You were the star of that show.
Oh,
that day.
no.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Trev for winning today. He's got the mitt.
And gets it while he's moving because he's moving soon. Can't remember what day it is.
Don't lose it.
Actually, one time Dusty forgot it. And I had a lot of fun with 1260 because I took it without him knowing because he left it somewhere. And then I got a bunch of people to take pictures with it. And I sent like ransom notes. And Dusty didn't know who was doing this. And I had this whole thing. And then at one point I scheduled a tweet that made it look like the producer that was next to the 1260 studio had a picture of it. So Dusty made show got up, ran into there to see who it was. No one was there. And
dirty.
it was for a while I had it. And I had a Twitter account for it and all of this. It was a lot of fun. Don't leave that stuff around.
Didn't it make it to Hamilton on the sidelines with Hernan?
At the Nasty Bash, the first one. I forgot his name, so apologies if he's listening. But somebody flew in from Hamilton and they took it, and we didn't know where it was. We're like, "Where's the mitt?"
Wow.
Because we brought everything here and we couldn't find it. And then the guy's like, "Yeah, I took it." And then he was at a Ticats game and he took a picture with it. And Hernan was on the sideline, so Hernan took a picture with it, and then he mailed it back to us. So that mitt's gone through a lot. It's been around for a lot. So
Now Joaquin uses it when he makes things in our toaster oven.
Does he really?
Full meals.
He really? That's hilarious.
2 weeks ago, I'm in there. He's eating a plate of pasta, and I'm like, "Where did you get that?" He's like, "I made it." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, there's more. I made a whole thing of pasta in the oven." I was like, "You are wild, mister." It's very impressive. Very.
he hasn't made
impressive.
anything this week. The Sailor, thank you, VR. The
Sailor had
took
it. Yeah, the boys made a pizza yesterday though at 7:30. I know that. They can fit them in there, but Gager, yeah, get to work, Gager. We're hungry.
I like that afternoons with them. And then they do a good
Good.
job.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
I think they're
Great
fun.
studio they're in.
It's beautiful.
Wonderful.
Wonderful
The,
studio.
the studio sponsored that one. Top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Yeah, just two good dudes with some nice sponsors and a nice studio.
Yeah.
Talking sport. They're gonna have Luke Pierce on today.
Because they're off to the U.S.
Yes,
for their road trip.
Yeah.
They always do the one road trip a year to the U.S.
9-gamer.
They're away for 9 games.
9
because
game.
PBR's here.
Yeah,
Oh, is PBR here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
beginning of November.
I forgot about that. I didn't even realize the CFR was here until it was happening.
The
I was
smell-
wondering why there was in the ice district.
The
like, there
smell's
was-
still there. Is that what you say?
It lingered, but in the
Back hall-
backstage area.
Yeah, back
I didn't
hallway.
smell it a couple days ago. So it must have
it-
Rexall, it lingered for a long time.
Oh yeah, small confined space, and they kept the animals in there longer. I think because I think they had the. Well, I know they had the animals in the fan park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but yeah, it still had the smell, and I was like, oh,
when I did a backstage tour on the Wednesday, first day of rodeo, and I was just looking around. I couldn't believe, like, how are they going to get this cleaned up?
yeah,
And then on the Friday, I had to drop some stuff off at the fan park, and like I didn't even want to drive my car down there because there's horses were crossing,
Yep.
so there was stuff all over the road.
there was some scat on the ground.
And we were there at 8 Monday morning because we had to start the banners and the Studio 99 graphic, and there wasn't a sign
Yep.
of it other than the smell.
They do a good job. Like, and that's the other thing too. As soon as you went into the actual like hallway where the locker rooms were and the club area, it was gone.
Yeah, it was
didn't,
gone.
but it was all in the backstage and it just lingered. But at the old building, oh, it was just there. And it was funny because you could buy the seats when they were finishing up at Rexall and they're gutting the arena portions of it, and you could buy the seats. Former producer of mine, Jeff Nash, bought a pair and he cleaned them out, and like he recorded the process, and the crap coming out of those seats was so disgusting. And then he peeled like the foam off, and he found a wooden ice cream like spoon, and then also found a 50-50 ticket from the CFR from like 1999. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hopefully not the winner.
not that night probably.
yeah.
Did you see those big lineups yesterday?
Sorry.
Did you see those big lineups yesterday for the autograph sessions?
Yeah, my daughter Mackenzie, who you worked with,
She was
a
practicum
practicum student.
with 1260.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, had to end early because of COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
Right.
She was the one that we had for that.
So yeah, she's working at the mall now. They were lined up. So she works at Simon's. So she said the lineup was there at 6 a.m. for Hyman and Kulak was her area.
Wow.
For them too, 6
Yeah,
a.m.
it was all day. She said she got there at 8:30 and it was all day.
So she was in Hyman and Kulak's lineups?
No, she wasn't.
She was
in
working.
them. She was
Oh,
working
she's
right
working
beside there, so
assignment.
she was watching.
So
Yeah,
she saw. I
Yeah.
see.
yeah. So
That's crazy.
yeah, it was. I don't know. Guess you don't access them, right? So
Yeah, that's fair.
and they do have a strict policy even in partnership things. No autographs.
Yeah.
Pictures all day long, but
Yeah.
no autographs. But a lot of times, and you probably see this when you go to Rogers Place, I park underground where they park.
Yep.
And every time I pull in on a game day, it's like there's fans waiting outside that parkade.
Yeah.
And then they look inside my car and no, not him.
You should
Not
open up
him,
the window
just
and like,
people.
who wants the autograph?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's-
it's crazy. There's a lot of guys out there.
Yeah. The Seekers too in Fort Hall.
Oh yeah, in Ford Hall.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
visiting team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot of that. A lot of the visiting team, especially when it gets cold, they'll take Fort Hall to go into the rink, and it makes the most sense from the hotel. But a lot of the teams have security guards too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see that at West
Yeah. I
Ed.
see
the
Connor
videos.
coming out yesterday.
Oh yeah.
They're all
his
surrounded.
Security
Yeah.
team, yeah.
Yeah.
Leon, all of that. So, actually, I didn't even test the phone from yesterday.
Oh.
Well, we had an issue with the phone.
Audio levels coming through.
Yeah, but I couldn't hear, so we'll
way
give
to
it another
find
try.
out.
We're going to connect to our qualifier today for the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 right away here. Trev actually is in. He got it done, and is doing it. So thank you, Trev. We're connected.
Yep.
We'll give this a try. Congratulations to whoever I'm speaking with. If you can hear me, what is your name?
Hey, Matt, it's Rob from the Grove.
Hey, congratulations, Rob from the Grove. You're in the mix for the flight, the trip to Los Angeles, where you could go see an NBA game, an NHL game, an NFL game, and also be in beautiful LA. If you won this trip, what would you be most excited about going to?
Probably the new Intuit Dome looks
Yeah.
pretty sweet. So.
Yeah, especially after everything we saw yesterday. That place
Absolutely.
looks stunning. You worried about the Oilers?
Not yet.
Fair enough. Not yet. That's probably the way to do it. Congratulations. You're in the mix for the trip. Listen on November 29th on the morning show, because if you're the big winner, the boys will give you a call, let you know that you are off to LA.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Congrats, Rob from the Grove in the mix. 2 more chances to qualify today on EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager, as well as the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. Once again, giving that away on November 29th. Thanks, Trev.
Congratulations on your win today.
What was your favorite take?
Mine?
Yeah, of yours.
I like the Home Depot one on Dusty.
Actually, that was a good one.
Yeah, because he always talks
Well
about
played.
his handy skills. Doesn't really have much of them.
Let's get to Road Warriors, which is brought to you by AccuSteel Heavy Haul Trailers. Custom manufacturing of heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas, equipment, highway transportation. Quality, innovation, integrity, trusted by the leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with peace of mind for your large loads. AccuSteel.ca. Today, we do got Thursday Night Football. You got the Vikings taking on the Rams. Rams being the home team. You could join Lieutenant Eric in Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for that game. Squareboard up as well. It's the smoked brisket cheesesteak on special. The Vikings being the road team in that one. A few games in the NBA highlighted by actually Timberwolves Kings. Timberwolves on the road as an 0-1 team going to Sacramento, take on a very good Sacramento Kings team.
Light the beam.
Light the beam, which apparently I was supposed to remember. I honestly forgot that was. And in the NHL slate of action, because there's only one game yesterday, but a bunch of games today. Jets are in Seattle. The undefeated Jets.
Yeah.
6-0-0, 12
right.
points. They're in Seattle to take on the Kraken. Avalanche, who started to pick it up a little bit. They're in Utah to take on Utah HC. Hurricanes on the road in Calgary taking on the 5-0-1 Flames. They can't keep that.
No chance.
Today's the day.
I don't think that's...
I have
but
no
if they
comment.
do-
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No,
I'll say
they might, but the Oilers will just be a point ahead of them.
credit to them on
Yeah.
the start of the season for now. Like I don't think anyone was expecting this from Calgary. So who knows? Maybe they could be the Vancouver Canucks of the year and carry this through all year. Maybe
Maybe.
we shall see.
Unlikely.
Blues Maple Leafs also one of the games that is happening today in the NHL, and also Manchester United. They're on the road in Europa League action that I'm sure everyone cares about in this room at 1 o'clock. You guys are all going to be watching with me.
I was worried we weren't going to talk about it.
Actually, speaking of soccer, Canada moved up to 35th in the world rankings.
Nice.
Today. So we're moved on a little up. Jonathan David with 2 goals yesterday for Lille as they beat Atletico Madrid.
They beat Madrid. Oh, okay.
Atletico Madrid, not Real Madrid.
I know. But
One of the still top teams of Spain.
But, like-
Jonathan David with the 2 goals, including the late winner, I think in the 89th minute or something, to give Lille the win over Atletico.
and I know the French league isn't like considered one of the top ones, but even there's it's not like he's on PSG. He's on Lille, which is like a small northern town, is it not?
I don't know where they are in France.
Yeah.
I won't lie. Lille is one of the better clubs in France.
Okay. I didn't know that.
They won the league a couple years ago with Jonathan David.
I have to look up Lille.
But Jonathan David's on a tear to start this season. He's been scoring a lot of goals. And now he's a free agent, I think, after this season. It's been rumored for like 3 years he's going to move, and he hasn't moved. So maybe this is the year he moves.
Does Canada have any home games?
They will have Nations League action with Suriname coming up right away.
Oh, yeah.
They'll probably keep it in Toronto or something.
Yeah. Well, I just asked because if you've ever been to Toronto and there's a soccer match about to happen and you got a football game in between, we're not allowed to touch the grass. Like before game day, like I can't cut across the field to get from one end to the other.
Oh,
You have to walk around. Nobody walks on the grass until game day. And after the game, you don't walk on the grass. They love their grass down there.
Okay.
So they will take on their home November 19th.
Oh, yeah. And we play next Saturday.
So you're
there,
good.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, how
don't know,
does
what's
that
that-
work? Because do they have
And that is
just
in
one
Toronto.
grounds crew there, and then are you painting the lines there, or are they painting
Yeah,
the
no,
lines?
the lines get painted by a crew there that I know. So they bring a special paint in from Australia.
Yeah.
We have to use their machines because we can't cross-contaminate with our paint. And very light coat, and after the game, you'll see them wiping it out. Like fans aren't even out of the stadium, and they're pulling stuff out.
Right. Now, do they have Argos logos on the field, or is it all digital?
Everything's digital.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's very noticeable in
and
TSN.
they will cover that field and put their growing lights on. Like by the time I'm packed up, which I have to work with union guys there, so an hour, 2 hours after the game, the field will have the lights on and covered.
Wow.
Yep. So
Canada, well, because they're natural grass, that's where the men's soccer team generally schedules their game for one. The other part is actually jet lag stuff. They don't want to fly out west too much because, like, one, if you're playing 2 games in CONCACAF, you're likely still going to be on the East Coast somewhere, whether you're going to, the Jamaicas or the Haitis of the world, or if you're in the U.S., you're generally still on that East Coast. So to travel back to Toronto is easier. Right. And then for the guys coming from Europe, it's easy just to fly to Toronto, play whatever, and then fly back to Europe. Whereas you go to Vancouver, you go to Edmonton, it's a little more difficult. Although the manager of the national team, Jesse Marsh, recently did talk about how he wants to take these games beyond. He said, for some reason, he said beyond Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. Because Montreal, I don't know the last time they hosted a game. And then he threw out Edmonton and Halifax. It's like 2 places he'd like to go to. So maybe we'll see Canada men's soccer come back here. I'd be a little skeptical of that one, though.
Speaking of, did you hear how like Alphonso Davies, the fans are all mad at him and his agent because
Why?
he won't sign?
Well,
And rumor has it he wants to go to Real Madrid.
so the Alphonso Davies rumors have been going on for about a year because he's a free agent after this season. And it sounds like Real Madrid's interested, but Real Madrid didn't want to pay the price that Bayern Munich has set for him because in soccer you sell, you don't trade. You could trade, but it's mostly sell and it's money. Bayern seems to be okay with moving on from him to a degree, but then this summer kind of changed and Bayern's like maybe open to keeping him, but now they're having issues with the agent and like the head of Bayern Munich like called out his agent. And now there's questions and apparently Man City might be interested in him, Man United might be interested in him, and Real Madrid's interested in him. So we'll see where next year he's either going to leave Bayern Munich, which is one of the biggest clubs in the world. And if he does leave, he'll go to one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's absolutely incredible. If he plays at Real Madrid, like I don't know if I want him at Manchester United. As a United fan, it'd be great. As an Alphonso Davies fan, they're a mess. And I kind of want to keep him away from that mess. But if he played for Manchester United or Real Madrid, that's just ridiculous to me as a soccer fan. Like a kid from Edmonton playing for one of those two
North
clubs.
side.
Like the fact, like David Beckham, I know that's not for soccer people, like David Beckham, but like David Beckham was with Manchester United and Real Madrid and stuff. Like Cristiano Ronaldo played for both those clubs, and also Alphonso Davies playing with one of those clubs. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty cool.
But it's an agent thing, and fans. I think the fans would know by now that he's leaving. So I don't think they'd be all upset. But the club's upset with his agent, and he's never ditched his agent's a local guy, an Edmonton guy.
Oh, nice.
Drama.
The soccer drama's
soccer
the best.
drama.
Yeah.
It's 365. Like if you follow transfer rumors, and like 75% of it's just hot garbage. But everyone talks, but everyone has fun with it. Talking about like people are already talking about summer transfer moves.
That's a sport.
October.
It never ends.
No.
Right? Because they play their regular season, then they have all these friendlies, and then
It's actually players are now starting to get frustrated with how much soccer that they have to play because they keep adding more and more, and there's no time off. They're adding this Club World Cup next year, where there's like 24 clubs that will play in June and July, and players are like, "Well, when are we resting? We play from August through to the end of May. Now you want us to play this? Training camp starts in August. When do we get our time off?" And they're getting really pissed off. They just don't have unions or anything right now.
big money though.
Yes.
Got to play for the money.
Huge money.
Now soccer's massive.
Yeah.
It's screw FIFA.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce. I just really wanted to ask Maddie about this. Did you see how the NBA is investigating the 76ers with Embiid? Yeah. What do you think about that? About time.
If you do it for him, you got to do it for everyone.
Exactly. But he's the worst.
I'm not opposed to load management fully, personally.
Oh my God. Are you serious? We had a heated topic about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Where's Belsy when you need it?
Well, I'm okay with it to a degree because if I'm a fan of a team, I'm trying to win a title. And if the best way to win the title is to have my players rested for the playoffs, I want my players rested for the playoffs. And in the NBA, it's a sport where 16 teams make the playoffs. Well, they have the play-in tournament. But you have 16 teams officially in the playoffs after whatever. we could probably guess right now 13 of those 16 that will be there.
True.
So if you're one of those top teams, rest your guys. If
But
they're
it's
going to
like
be
that Vegas argument with us, with the NHL.
Yeah.
Evander Kane.
Who's actually injured?
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
the Vegas people have all been injured. Every Vegas player has been injured. It's how soon are they healthy? That's the thing that's come up. I understand that if you buy a ticket and it's like, well, you want to see your players, but the team's worried about winning. And personally, if you want to, I don't have a problem if the Edmonton Oilers ever one day held McDavid or Draisaitl out for a game or two throughout the course of the season just to keep them a little healthier, a little fresher.
It's called class.
I don't care about class. I want the title.
Would you do it at home?
It has to be on the road. That's where I would do it on the road because I don't want my home fans to miss out on those players.
And then the league steps in and says, why is he not playing?
Yeah, the teams that are selling the tickets.
Now, suck it up.
Somebody,
Deal with
I
it.
think it was Bob Stauffer at the Oilers draft said that the New York game with the Oilers is the biggest ticket price in Madison Square this year.
Oh, really?
The Oiler game.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
wow.
Yeah. So
for-
if he doesn't play that game for a maintenance day,
But hypothetically, on Long Island,
then you could tweak
little
something.
bit, yeah, he's tired.
I think he wants to play though.
He
too,
does.
Right?
Oh,
These athletes don't want to sit.
No.
Absolutely, and it's against hockey, and I understand that.
And Rangers are a good team. They're actually contenders for the cup.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, sure, but like the Islanders, for rest the guy against the Islanders if you want. I don't care.
There's a hierarchy in those New York
It's
teams.
one of those things where, the Devils would generally be the bottom one for me,
Yeah,
but they're a
but they're a
tougher
better
team
team.
right now than the Islanders. I only care about titles. And I don't care about being honorable or classy or doing it the right way. If I'm a fan, I want to see the rings. The Yankees had to rest a few guys
I
through
knew
this
you were
season
gonna say that. I just
just to
waited,
get
like,
here.
don't
Let's
even
do it. You into baseball?
Yankees. I'm like, no.
Who do you got for the World Series?
I think the Dodgers are going to win it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm cheering again. I'm not cheering for that.
You're
But-
doing reverse psychology because you're a Yankees
No,
fan.
I'm.
Who hits for? Who would they put designated hitter when they go to New York?
The Dodgers? That's a great. Where's Cam Moon when I need him? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
It's going to be a tough series. Like we were looking it up yesterday. It's a very evenly matched series. Yankees might have the edge with starting pitching, close bullpen. Hitting Dodgers might have a little bit of the edge. I give Dave Roberts the edge over Aaron Boone as a manager.
You hate Aaron. Boone.
I just not sold on him. He just doesn't get it done, and I'm not confident in his decision makings. But maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe I'll be an Aaron Boone fan in a week from now because he's a World Series winning manager, having led the Yankees to their 28th world title.
He's going to get his bust in the Yankees Hall of Fame. And
That's tomorrow night as well. So we got football, baseball, and hockey.
Oh, I'm so excited.
good
I'm at
day.
Century Casino.
Yeah, good food at Century Casino.
It's great food. And
yeah.
everything's just there, and I'll just be able to watch it all. As a sports fan, it'll be great to watch it all.
I was in a seminar last weekend, and my wife and daughter went to Century to send me pictures of the food. Looked pretty good.
Yeah, they were there for the Elks draft with the sponsors.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
the prime rib. People line up for the prime rib special. It's unreal.
And some people try to sneak it into the sports bar when you're not supposed to.
And they get shamed.
Fergie went to the restaurant and ordered prime rib and then carried it over to the sports bar, but you're not allowed to have it in the sports bar.
Oh, okay.
And they told him, you got to go finish it over there. And it became, I don't know what the controversy or whatever
I
it was,
love it.
but Yag Welder guy says Dodgers have Ohtani as DH.
Yeah, that
Because the National League does have the DH now, but they do have Ohtani as the DH. So
This one out of Vancouver, text comes in and says, load management is garbage, especially for fans who come to a game once in a while with these astronomical prices. You get paid to play. Well said.
Well said.
Yeah, well said.
What about
from
DeAndre
Nizam.
Hopkins going to the Chiefs? How the hell does the NFL allow this?
why wouldn't they?
Why not?
What's wrong with it?
I'm not okay with this.
The other teams
So
could have offered
super
more.
cheap.
Other teams could have offered more. Teams didn't want to do it. So
D Hop still got some game.
Yeah.
I liked him when he was a Cardinal.
prime rib rattle, says Lieutenant Eric. Oh, VR Montenegro, tailgate then Century Casino for me tomorrow.
I got screwed. My girlfriend's booked dark tickets tomorrow. They did it. So I got obviously, it's like game day. Hardcore game day.
You have
Hardcore game.
Sunday and Monday, Boston Pizza Westgate, where we're going to be
like
live
it-
on location.
I think it was like you wanted us to be like, oh no, Jasmine,
I
what
wouldn't
a
be validated.
shame. Oh no, like
Already
how
there.
could this happen? And we all just sat there like, okay.
Okay, I'll miss the first period, I guess.
You'll be fine.
There's 82 games.
But it's the Penguins.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It's an important game.
Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
win this one after all this criticism.
But it's also Crosby coming to town. And I understand if there's load management, he might be out and you wouldn't get to go watch him. But
no, he'll be playing.
oh no, he will. It's also the Hall of Fame night.
Yes.
I heard Randy's interview on the radio yesterday with Reed. I texted him when I heard he went in because we do the lettering for it. And I said, "Oh, congratulations!" I was just cutting his lettering when I texted him. He goes, "I was only half as good as these players, so can you make mine half the size?" I thought it was a pretty funny line. Pretty funny guy.
Oh, he's done some amazing stuff.
Oh, that
with the
Riverhawks. Yeah, I can get. Well, Tommy, you've been to the suite with me.
Yes.
and
Oh, you saved our Canada Day, Bruce.
yeah, the Riverhawks are a pretty great thing to go
Yep.
on.
Really good vibe, product, and then these are guys that are making their way eventually to MLB. Would they have 5 guys drafted, couple guys signed? Most of them took off, didn't even go back to college. They just went to low A and got their pro career started. Good ball affiliated with the MLB, good local products.
Yeah.
And
Well-
that was a great Canada Day game. And you totally saved our asses. It was like 9,500 people and we're crammed in there, Dusty and the whole fam I'm with. And Bruce like, come down to the box.
Dr. Randy Gregg was he was painting those seats before their first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how committed
He
even
paints
he was
the
there. He
dugouts,
was
yeah.
painting
Yep.
there, and they were all in on it. So it's it's so long till the Riverhawks.
Yeah.
But we'll be great. The Riverhawks will be here soon enough, and the Oilers will be in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Oh, beautiful.
That's true.
Beautiful.
The Elks will be starting with the new quarterback
That's
or
right.
the same quarterback,
Yeah.
coach, GM,
season.
president.
There's so many questions coming around
Name.
with the CFL.
Yeah. I had a great chat with Jarius yesterday. Seems like he's in a good headspace regardless of
He's a
whatever
good guy.
happens. Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Really good guy. So
Thanks for coming in, Bruce.
Well, thank you.
If-
It was a pleasure.
We'll have to have you on again.
awesome.
If people
Yes.
want information or to get some stuff done, how do they get in touch?
WilliamHuff.com. Follow us on our social media. And Rebecca should have told me what that was, but look us up on Facebook and Instagram. Tommy, you like
I have the
you
Instagram.
like our posts.
Yep. I like you guys have good stuff. You have game day predictions with your pup.
That's Lindy's dog. Porter
Yeah.
comes in Tuesday, Friday to make his predictions.
On
William
Insta?
Huff advertising on Instagram and products as well as dog predictions, which are always great.
Yes.
What did he predict the other day with the Canes Oilers?
He picked Canes.
He took the Canes. What's great is he'll go to one first and then he'll eat both.
Yeah,
Both.
exactly.
But yeah.
I'm glad you're feeling well from your stomach bug.
Thank you.
We're so glad that you got through that.
Yeah.
And,
Jazzy's back.
Yeah,
It was
she
a
is.
pleasure as well, sir.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
Coming up shortly, it is the Lock Shop, Dusty and Huss. We've got 2 guys and a goalie, Dusty, Gager, Cass. We got the EST Afternoons. We got the Reed Wilkins Show, all coming here on Edmonton Sports Talk. On behalf of Jasmine, Bruce, Tommy, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Once again, coming up, it is the Lock Shop. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First time guest, long time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,